Namaste. I'm Teresa Von Braun, spiritual consultant, and I have the Seosis Mystery School. You can look me up on my website, teresavonbraun.com, or my Instagram handle is Seosis mystery period school. I've been called to make this video about the phenomena of that we're hearing about, moving from the third dimensional experience to the fifth dimensional experience. And my question is, what happened to the fourth dimensional experience? It's absolutely necessary to have the fourth initiation, the heart open, to move through the fourth dimension, which is our belief systems, in order to move into the 5D. There is no glossing over the fourth or skipping over it. It is one of the most important initiations in our ascension process from our beloved guides, from the spiritual level looking at us here on the plane. The heart must be open. I've seen for years the earth trying to move through from the third dimension to the fourth, and somehow that doesn't seem to happen so easily. We all fall back from the world going into wars, or going into pandemics, or going into the difficulties that humans and the world always seems to be having. So that limits us from the humanity and the earth moving into 5D. The earth is already ascended. We're bringing her down, not lifting her up. And so the more we connect in with her, with Gaia, the more we use our heart, which is open to everything. After we go through the fifth initiation, the easier we move into the fifth dimension, or the fifth initiation. It is important that we understand this. Otherwise, a lot of people are hoping that they're going to be able to just move into the fifth easily. Initiation is not an easy process. It's a rewarding, it's a satisfying, it is a incredible experience, and one needs to own every one of them as they move on their journey. And so coming into the fifth dimension would be so wonderful and powerful if especially a majority of people were there. But those of us that can be there need to be there, and we need to be there as much as we can. But we need to have an open heart in order to be able to handle the power, the expansion, the magic that the fifth dimension is. So I'll be speaking on that a little bit today, and I will be giving a workshop to help people understand where they are and what is their movement into fifth dimension eventually, when they are ready to do that. And certainly we need to get ready for that as soon as possible. Certainly, hopefully, many are ready and many are there, but maybe not just as aware of it as they could be, and how to use that powerful dimension of the fifth level that we need right now. We need that magic. I want to talk today about the 5D phenomena that seems to be spreading with everyone. Yes, the fifth dimension is a phenomenon. It's an amazing, magical place, and ideally it'd be great if we all were there. Having worked with Ascension through the initiation process for the 40 years I've been in private practice, one must go through the heart, one must open the heart, one must go through the fourth dimension and understand that and be in alignment with that energy and feeling that in their body and in their hearts before they can move into the fifth dimension, or 5D is in the current vernacular. When one moves into the fifth dimension, you're moving into levels of mastery, okay? The fourth dimension is our belief systems, but it's also the heart, connected with the heart and the heart opening chakra. It is the ego death, rebirth. It is the crucifixion celebration in Christian terms, and those are mostly the ones I use. I'm sure there's other terms to express this particular experience that humans go through. It's a high-level experience. It's where we move into being, and where we move into being a soul-infused personality, where we're coming more from our essential soul level than our ego defense level. The 3D is usually on, and that our will is aligned with our ego defense structure, which is the 3D. Our will needs to align with our essence and our soul, and moving up into that particular energy, which is the fourth dimension. it's a very difficult initiation to go through. Not impossible, but it's difficult. It's the dark night of the soul in Christian terminology. It's the ego death rebirth, the crucifixion celebration. That tells you a lot about it right there. Through all these years, I understand that the ego doesn't really die, much as I've tried. The best we do is we loosen the structure so our soul can become more embodied in ourselves. So that is a huge process. And as you go through the ego death, you're letting go of all your attachments. And if you aren't letting go of what isn't your truth, it will be taken from you. And so it is a time of grieving, of loss, of letting go of a lot of our attachments to others, to material objects, to the lifestyle, to our friends, to everything that we have done and created and built up until that time that we can think is us. But we really sort through and find what is the true us, what is our true essential self. And that is a very intense line of work to do, and I don't want to dissuade you from doing it, but to understand that to open the heart, one must go through everything. One must grieve what we've been and how we've been and come into our newness, our awakening, if you will, our essential self. And so that becomes a celebration. That becomes the rebirth, and that is a very powerful thing. As we come out of 3D, which is doing, us as humans doing, and we move into the fourth dimension or opening of the heart, we become a soul-infused personality. Our will is aligned with our true nature, our true self, more and more and more. And there's a celebration. There's the resurrection, if you will. There is the phoenix arising that happens in the fourth dimension, which is ecstatic, which is beautiful, which is wonderful. And through this initiation, the heart is open to all experiences. It's open to all emotions. It's open to everything. And that is an essential step before one goes into the fifth dimension. So the casualness that people talk about moving through the fourth dimension, or people, talk about just move from 3D to 5D, I really don't understand, because there is a process. And as much as we don't necessarily need to make all of our processes linear in our ascension process, there are some points, some experiences that we must go through as humans to move into the higher dimensions. And so we go from doing, we go into being. And being in our truth is hard on this planet. It makes me very sad to say so, but being in our truth in this planet is one of the most difficult things it seems that people can do. And one of the most outrageous and one of the most rebellious, or one of the biggest things on this internal level that we can do is to become our truth and who we are. And then as we move into the fifth, it's not only being our truth, it's walking it, it's talking it, it's being it 24/7. It's sustaining it. And even though a lot of people have connected with the fifth dimension, probably all of us, myself including, could work to sustain it longer, to have it be more consistent in our lives. That it is a huge opening. It's the realm of magic. It's the realm where most of our guidance are working with the earth plane from, and with us from. It is a place where if you move into the fifth dimension, it holds our karma, it holds the Akashic records, where there's information of everything that you might ever want to know about, the big library in the sky. And it is a place where you can go anywhere in the universe from the fifth dimension. It's like master astral travel. You can go to any other dimension, you can go to any other galaxy, you can go to any other planet. I spent much of my younger life having a great time going everywhere and checking out everywhere. And I encourage that, as long as you come back and re-embody yourself more fully after you've done your astral traveling, or after you've done your expansion in a certain way. At this point, for me, it's not so much astral travel. It's just a difference of focus. It's focusing my energy here or there, wherever. Energy follows thought. Thought focuses energy. That's important to remember in any dimension and on any level, but it's very important in terms of the fifth initiation, because you start thinking about something, boom, you can be there. And so to understand how to go places and come back into yourself, how to re-embody, how to do some of this without staying out or staying too disassociated or out of your body or that kind of thing. We can work with all these levels in our body, and that's what I've been teaching for these 40 years, to be able to do that. The fifth dimension it is a key, and I understand why everybody is wanting us to get there. That would be quite beautiful. In my experience and in my life, I've seen that we have tried to go from the third dimension to the fourth dimension from the will. We're the third planet from the sun. We're an egotistical planet. We're a planet that is dualistic. Most of us are split with that. We want to take all of us into the fourth and into the fifth dimension. And we need to understand that and let go of that as we move into the heart and open the heart to all possibilities, okay? That is the true belief one must have to move into the realm of magic, which is in the fifth dimension, probably more than any others. You can bring it into other dimensions, but it is, originates in the fifth dimension. And so we want that magic. Earth needs that magic. Maybe if we shoot for the fifth dimension, we can get through the fourth, as we've been trying to do, or get into the fourth, as we've been trying to do on this planet for a very long time. I'm talking about the whole planet. I'm not talking about a partial part of humanity that is in the fifth dimension or higher already, or that can be more in the fifth dimension because they have done the foundation work, they have done the practice, they have done the development of themselves up until then, and they know themselves, and they know their truth, and they know their true nature, and they know who they are as they can go anywhere in the universe, okay? Or as they can come into a realm of magic that we can begin to bring into the physical plane more and more and more. This is the time of magic. It is the indigo ray. This is what we are doing here, is performing magic, beginning to think about magic every day of your life. Think about the magical things that have happened to you in your life. That is a very important level of expanding your belief systems that allows you to be in the fifth dimension, and allows you to be able to go anywhere and experience everything that is out there, which is everything. And then there's the nothing that you can go into too. And one must have some foundation or a sense of self to be able to experience the absolute and to experience the nothingness, because that is very frightening for many people to do that. The fifth dimension is where the no time, no space of the sixth and seventh dimensions come into time and space in the fifth dimension. So in the fifth dimension, there is a greater understanding of time, a greater understanding of the subjective experience of time, being able to work with time, manipulate time, have that affect you in your life better, have that a way that you can do more in your life, that you can experience more, or you can process more, or you can manifest more in your life, that understanding of time, the time-space continuum, and the limitation that we have had with that will be opened up, okay? Easily to move into no time, no space from here, but it's about mastering time. It's about working within the boundaries, if you will, or within the experience of time and what time is. It is put there so that we can see our process in time. And in magic, we can go boom, 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 but we're not necessarily seeing, getting, understanding, being the process, that we are in a process as human beings. And to move into the fifth dimension of the magic and being able to quickly move beyond your individual process and hopefully lift the collective process up to the level of the fifth dimension, or even the fourth dimension will make me happy. But to move into those areas, we need to be able to expand ourselves. We need to be able to know who we are. We need to understand our process so that we can lay it aside and come into magic, okay, and come into that level of experience in your life. And so you need to look at all the ways that you have been magical, all the magical things that have occurred to you. All of that. It's a very important, what do I want to say? Skill, tool, experience to be, not just to use, but to be. And so we can think of ourselves as magical. And as we think of that, we will rise in our ascension process more easily and more quickly. And we still go through it. Every soul that comes into a body has to go through the initiations again, starting over, just as the body grows up. In every lifetime that you come into a body, the kundalini has to arise. We go through the initiations in the ascension process. And this is true for even very high level beings that are even in the sixth or seventh dimension, or sixth or seventh initiation. And so you go back and we go through them again. And that is important because it's different now on the planet, becoming an ascended master, if you will, becoming more developing ourselves on our initiations higher and higher. It's a huge process, because we'll be learning new things in each lifetime that we do this. We learn new things. At this point in time, we're trying to learn how to bring the spiritual into the physical more and more, about how to do your evolution and your initiations while in the marketplace, while at work, while raising a family, while being married, things that often people did not do in the past, but they are doing this in these days. And that adds an extra added or several extra added attractions to your development, okay? It's important that we do this. It's important that we integrate the spiritual and the physical together, because that is the biggest split that this planet holds. And we as individuals need to heal this split. The highest level of magic is healing, is what I think. And so the healing of self, the healing of humanity, the healing of the collective, the healing of the planet, that's paramount now. And we need magic to do that. We need to be in the fifth dimension, understanding and ability to go anywhere, to walk it, to talk it, to be it 24/7, so that we are doing this in our dream state as well as in our waking state. Okay, so there's so much that I can say about the fifth dimension and moving from the fourth or the third to the fourth in the fifth dimension. I'm going to do a workshop on that, a full day workshop, and I will be putting that information out. You can see it on, or find out. You can look at my website, teresavonbraun.com, or look on Instagram for that, and we'll give you the time and the place and how to contact me and all of that. So go be magical. Be magical. That's the best way to open your heart, the best way to come into the fifth dimension, the best way to do the healing on the planet that's needed, and the healing on yourselves that is needed. If every soul does their own healing, we could be healed. It would be magical. It would be incredible. And I hope for that. I pray for that. If any of you would like to work with me privately on your own personal initiatory path and your ability and your foundation about expanding into the fifth dimension, please look at my website, www.teresavonbraun.com, and you can connect with me from there. If you have any questions about anything that this video brought up for you, this information brings up for you, please write them in the comments, and I will address these questions in further videos. I feel called to really talk about this now because I feel that it is essential. As I've said, the fourth is a foundation for moving into the fifth, and I can say a lot more about that, and will in the workshop I'm going to be doing on this subject, and in further videos. Thank you.